Good evening, students. This is your instructor, Tommy Alfield, for ACCT 201. I wanted to take a few minutes and just give you a brief overall synopsis of the Unit 5 information that we'll have this term. Now, for Unit 5, we're going to talk about a variety of things. Excuse me. We're going to talk about internal controls. We'll talk about cash. And then we'll talk about some special journals. Now, internal controls, basically what those are processes, policies, procedures that helps companies do a variety of things. Protect the assets, ensure that they're complying with any laws, regulations, helps to promote efficiency and effectiveness from management, and then also helps in the preparation of the financial statements. Now, we'll talk about several different types of controls. We'll talk about components of controls. I've got a good acronym that can help you understand the various elements and components of internal control. So I really hope you can attend our chat session this week, and because it'll be a lot of good information. The PowerPoint slides will be very informative as well. We will also talk about cash and some of the ways to control cash, some internal controls to protect cash. The best way to protect cash is through a bank reconciliation. That is by far the easiest way to ensure that everything is protected correctly. Okay, and so we'll go through a bank reconciliation. If you've never done a bank reconciliation from a personal standpoint, you should. And definitely companies have to prepare bank reconciliations. We'll talk about outstanding checks. We'll talk about deposits in transit. Deposits in transit are basically when a company makes a deposit into their bank account. So they're going to record it on their side as an increase in cash, but the bank may not record it as an increase in cash until the next month, if the day of that deposit is when the bank statement's prepared. So we'll go over that this week. We will also talk about outstanding checks and what outstanding checks are. That's when a company writes checks and they subtract it from their cash account as soon as they write the check, but it may not clear the bank until the next month. So whenever a company does their bank reconciliation, it's going to be reflected as a reduction in cash on their side, but not the bank side. So that's a reconciling item. We'll talk about all different types of reconciling items this week for a bank reconciliation. Excuse me. Then also what we'll do is we'll talk about 4 special journals. And basically the purpose of special journals is to help to, in essence, speed up the journal entry process. Instead of having to repetitively enter certain types of journal entries, what we'll do is we'll use these special journals that combines all of certain accounts into various columns, and we use those columns to enter the amounts, and it speeds up those journal entries where you'd have to enter so many, and it also helps cut down on any potential errors. Now, there are 4 types of special journals that we'll talk about. We will talk about the cash receipts journal. Basically what the cash receipts journal is, that's when anytime we receive cash from a customer, whether it's a payment on their account, whether it's a cash sale, anytime we receive cash, it's going to go into this cash receipts journal. And there's a column that's designated to reflect those dollar amounts to where you don't have to enter a journal entry. So that's what a cash receipts journal is. Cash payments journal, what that is when a company makes a payment of cash for supplies, for inventory, for anything that they write a check or they pay cash with. It's going to come out of that cash payments journal. Okay, so those are 2 types of journals. The third type of journal that we'll discuss is the sales journal. And basically what the sales journal is, that's anytime we have a sale to a customer on account where they don't pay us cash right then at the time of the sale. So they ask to put it on their account. So whenever the customer asks to put it on their account, it's going to go into that sales journal. The key thing to remember is anytime you see in your IntelliPath where it says sales on account, you'll know that that's going to go in the sales journal. And then the fourth type of journal that we will look at is called the purchases journal. And what the purchases journal is anytime a company purchases supplies, inventory, whatever it is on account. So they don't pay for it with cash, they purchase it on account. That's contrary to the cash payments journal, where they actually write a check or pay cash for the items. With a purchases journal, they purchase it on account. So we will talk about all of those in our chats this week. I really hope you can attend. This will be our last chat session of the term. You're almost at the finish line. You all hang in there. I'm proud of how hard you're all working. Let's keep it up, and let's finish this term strong. Also, as a reminder, you do have a Unit 5 discussion board that you need to complete as well. So I'll see you on the discussion boards. I'll see you in the chats this week. Take care.